The newest version of the evolution tree with every new Gala Pokemon on it is now available for pre-order. Thank you to those of you supporting the channel by checking out the merch store, and those of you, of course, supporting me on Patreon, including the big Patreon, the Nerd Therapist. Thank you. Hello, Pokemon Master! My name is Burky and thank you for clicking on this video. It's Gala Week. In fact, it's the end of Gala Week, kind of. Tomorrow at 2 PM GMT, it is finally time. I will finally be playing Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. You will be able to view it in two ways. Either one, come along 2 PM GMT, that's UK time, over on my Twitch. Follow me on Twitch for those notifications. Link are in the description. Play along with me. The reason I'll be playing it at 2 PM tomorrow is because that's when it goes live in Australia, which is when I'll have access to it. Or if you're like, you know what, I don't want to watch it live as you're doing it on Twitch, that's gonna be a blast. I am going to be re-uploading those segments as my first ever Let's Play, and when I stream it, I will be treating it as a Let's Play, so I won't be engaging too much with chat. I will be a little bit, and I will be in between segments, but you'll see tomorrow. But yes, I will be uploading it all as a Let's Play, and my goal is to get it out as quickly as possible. So the next couple days, there might be a lot of notifications, and of course, this is just fair warning, I will be putting up screenshots, you know, trying not to spoil too much. I'll try not to spoil the champion or anything like that, but there will obviously be screenshots in the thumbnail, so please do be aware. That said, within 2 to 3 days, the whole thing should be out, and we will be back to a normal, consistent schedule, although I'll probably try and get more theories and speculations and stuff out as soon as I'm done playing, basically. I will be live streaming until I'm done. I will sleep. There will be a couple of videos just letting you know when I'm live, so you can rely on that to see the stream. And then I will be making all sorts of theories and breakdowns, and I've just got so much I want to talk about. With that being said, I'm really looking forward to it, and this is my last little topic pre-Gala coming out, pre-Pokemon Sword and Shield. And of course, this Pokemon has Sword and Shield in the title, so if you leave a like and a comment, you have a chance to win a copy of the game with a Nintendo Switch Lite. I will be announcing the winner sometime towards the end of November, or maybe just after the game's out. I haven't fully decided yet, but someone's going to win that. I hope it's you. I hope it's you. Obviously, you hope it's you. Good luck to it. I've been rambling long enough. Let's talk about the Pokemon National Dex. At this point, if you've heard of Pokemon Sword and Shield, you have probably heard about the National Dex. Heck, if you're watching this video, you care enough about Pokemon that you know what the National Dex is. The briefest of summary is that they're not programming every single Pokemon into the game. If you include forms, there are well over 1,000 different creatures. And they've said, no, that's too much, we're not doing it. And on an announcement of that, there was a lot of backlash. A lot of people were very, very angry. I myself have been disappointed by it. I'm now at the point where I'm not really fussed about it. And I think the reason for that is because, you know, I've had some of these Pokemon since Generation 3, and I want to kind of keep on, I've been trading them up and transferring them up using Pokemon Bank, and the idea is this Pokemon Home app is going to come out next year, and it's going to allow you to transfer your Pokemon forward, just not all of them because they've not all been programmed in. And this has made people angry, and on top of that, what it's really done is it's moved a lens over other areas of the game that people are not quite happy with. For example, the animation quality that was in the first few trailers. I think people have been kind of upset about it. Even now, I've seen complaints. People are not so happy with it, although those have calmed down quite a lot. I'm pretty sure Galarian wheezing and that announcement kind of just, loads of people were just like, oh, actually no, these games are going to be great. Don't know why. Galarian wheezing just always saves the day. It really was that trailer announcing Galarian forms that I just saw a lot of the backlash about this kind of calm down quite a lot, but there's still been a lot out there, and fair criticism is fair criticism. So I want to talk about, you know, what has it changed? Has it changed anything? Has it changed anything for you? I would love to know in the comments. So here's kind of the options that I've come up with. Has this, the outrage, the backlash, the National Dex movement changed anything? Well, number one, there's going to be those of you who were going to buy the game anyway, who are now still going to buy the game. Maybe you've seen enough in the trailers to convince you that it's going to be good anyway. Maybe you just didn't care about not every Pokemon. You thought, you know what? The 500, 600, 400, however many we get, that's probably going to be enough, or I only play with the new Pokemon. By the way, it's worth noting that on release, this game is going to be as it would always have been without the complete Pokedex, because Pokemon Home doesn't come out till 2020. So whatever Pokemon are programmed into the game already, that is the experience that you would have had anyway, and I think a lot of people recognize that. There is the option, of course, that you've now seen this and you heard that announcement and you thought, that's it. Do you know what? I'm not touching it. I am not getting Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. I don't think I'm talking to a lot of those people. I would love to know if you are one of those, and the reason why is I imagine you wouldn't be watching a video in the run-up to Pokemon Sword and Shield if you're not planning on buying it at some point. Maybe you're waiting to see if they patch it or if they're going to include the Pokemon in a later update. I promise you they won't. And that's simply because that's just not how Game Freak has ever really worked. I cannot imagine a world where they do that. That said, Game Freak are really good at listening to feedback, and I know that sounds counter to what I just said, but here's the thing, they usually implement that feedback a game or so down the line. Whatever their plans are for this generation with the National Pokedex, to me is that that's their plan. That's how it's going to be probably for this generation now. Get used to it, and if that makes you want to not play Pokemon, you're probably going to not want to play any of the new Pokemon games over the course of the next 2 to 3 years. If they're going to add all the Pokemon back in, it won't be until at least next generation, and to be honest, I can't see them doing that anyway. Instead, what they're really good at is taking that feedback and implementing it into the next few games. And one of the big issues that they've had, not so much even the national decks, but it's been the graphical stuff and the kind of demand for nice graphics and good looking gameplay that people have wanted. I think we will see that implemented very heavily into the next generation. They know that they have to appease that market. They know that their whole reveal cycle has kind of been tainted by that national decks announcement. And speaking of reveal cycles, if you'll remember, back in the days of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire and Sun and Moon, there was a lot of backlash about the amount of stuff they were revealing before the game's out. Well, here we are at the edge of the game's release, and we don't know that much about Sword and Shield. They realized that the community didn't want to know everything going into the games. They wanted to just savor a little bit and enjoy it when we played. Game Freak are listening, and believe you me, they have heard everything they need to hear about the backlash to do with this. Also, my hope is that we're going to see some really interesting updates to Pokemon Home. For example, what would happen, hypothetically, and I don't know anything of course, if Pokemon Home came out tomorrow, and Pokemon Home, by the way, is going to be a phone app where you're going to be able to transfer every Pokemon from Pokemon Go to the old games on Pokemon Bank and Sword and Shield. You're going to be able to store everything there. And a lot of people have seen it as a dead end, but we don't know a lot about it. How would you feel if in that app there was a battle simulator similar to Pokemon Showdown, or maybe there's a little area where you can play with your Pokemon? I know a lot of people would want to take their Pokemon to the Galar region, but what if we then look at it like this? Given that we're coming up to the 900, 1000 Pokemon mark, over 1000 forms, there are so many different options in terms of competitive battling. What if we treated it as if battling on Pokemon Home is called Unlimited, which is kind of how it works with the Pokemon card game, where you can play with cards right back to kind of, I think right back to Black and White is called Expanded, and right back to the beginning, base set, Gen 1 is Unlimited. And the roster of Pokemon that you use in Sword and Shield is the Standard, the competitive metagame based on Pokemon that they've specifically chosen. After all, you don't really want to be mixing Pokemon like Slacking with its Truant ability and incredible stats with something like Galarian Weezing, which can neutralize the bad ability, same thing with Regigigas, and then just allow it to wreak havoc. It would break the metagame. So instead, you put those combinations in this battle mode called Unlimited, and your standard competitive for every single year of the Pokemon available in Sword and Shield. With that in mind, the National Dex thing suddenly becomes somewhat of a solution for competitive gameplay and competitive players changing from season to season. Imagine if over the next 3 years, the competitive standard is, first of all, it's the Sword and Shield Pokemon. That's the roster for the 2020 metagame, and then in 2021, it's the Diamond and Pearl competitive metagame, with the presumed Diamond and Pearl remakes. I know now I'm getting very speculative, but I'm just saying that this whole National Dex thing, if played right with Pokemon Home, and if Pokemon Home has enough nice features for us to play and cherish our Pokemon, it actually isn't going to affect the games badly in the long term. Actually, it could really help enrich the competitive side of Pokemon. Now, granted, I've started to ramble, and I've already said maybe you were someone who's going to buy the games, you're still going to buy the games. Maybe you're someone who was going to buy the games, now you're not. There is a third option. Maybe you're someone who wasn't going to play the games, and now you've heard about it. And now maybe you're considering it because you're someone who played Pokemon many years ago. You got back into it with Pokemon Go. You didn't really hear much about Let's Go, perhaps, but you're now hearing about Pokemon Sword and Shield on the Switch because it's had this massive kind of big explosive reveal cycle, not in terms of content, but more so in terms of fan outrage. So now you've heard about it. You're someone standing there playing Pokemon Go with your old Pokemon cards like, wait, hang on, what's the National Dex? Oh, it's like every Pokemon. Oh, well, that's fine. I play Pokemon Go, and I only have 4 or 5 generations at the moment. Sure, I'd love to check out the new Pokemon. There will be players who have not heard of Pokemon Sword and Shield before that outrage happened, and they might hear about it and just think, that's not a big deal. They might hear about it and think, oh, that is a big deal, despite the fact they've not played the last few generations. And in that case, they weren't going to buy the game anyway. In the long run, honestly, it's kept people talking about Sword and Shield. And then every time they've revealed something right, whether it's been Galarian Weezing or updated, nicer looking graphics or beautiful music, people have gone, yeah, that's what we want. And more people are talking positively now about these games. I'm sure there are those of you out there and some of you in the comments who maybe still don't want to buy the games. And if you really feel that passionately, good, don't buy them. If you really passionately believe that that will send a better message to the Pokemon company, then that's totally fine. I personally think Pokemon Company and Game Freak have heard your message. No, it is not going to change what Sword and Shield are, and I'm looking forward to playing them for what they are. And despite not having every Pokemon, I personally think they're going to be the most amazing Pokemon games. I seriously, genuinely believe that. And like I say, the experience on launch is going to be the same experience it would have been National Dex or not. But I also do thank the fan base that have been loud about their criticisms. I am not shy about the criticisms I have about Pokemon. We all know that last generation I was not a fan of the character of How, or the very hand-holdy text that was everywhere in Sun and Moon. I've been very vocal about that stuff, and my hope is for these games, Pokemon Sword and Shield, that is going to be changed. It is tomorrow now. Wow, it is. You might even be watching this at a time when Pokemon Sword and Shield exists for you and is in your life. I hope you're enjoying the games. I'm looking forward to these games. I'm looking forward to the games after it and how they'll be improved as a result of backlash and criticism. Has the Nationals Dex changed Sword and Shield? No, probably not that much. Will it change Pokemon? Yes, it will, and almost definitely for the better. Whether it's Game Freak's future attention to detail in terms of graphics, or whether it's to do with having more Pokemon included. Either way, I am incredibly excited. Please make sure you are following me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/BuskkeeperToby. Link is in the top of the description. I will be streaming tomorrow at 2 p.m. GMT. That's UK time. I'm going to stream for as long as I can. If I don't get through the game in the first kind of 12 to 15 hours, which there's a good chance I won't, I will probably sleep for 6 hours. I will then start streaming again. I'm just going to keep doing it until the game's completed, and as I'm playing, I'm going to be having some help, and the parts of the Let's Play are going to be uploaded to the channel. So obviously, be aware for spoilers, but also I hope you enjoy the game with me. This is my first ever Let's Play. I am so excited for tomorrow. I hope you are as well. Make sure you've checked out every video in the Sun and Moon lead up, my Gala week. There's a whole kind of, everything's on the channel, all my latest videos. Make sure you've placed in your pre-order for the posters. As soon as I know what all the Pokemon are, they are all going to be on here, all the Gala Pokemon families. And of course, if you pre-ordered now, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the version with every Gala Pokemon on it. Do not worry, you're not going to get some version that doesn't have some Gala Pokemon on it. It's going to have everything. Links to that are also in the description. I will see you tomorrow, and of course, soar high, Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon Master.